official channel. I am Teacher James Marita, Grigos Boys High School. Kindly subscribe my channel, click the notification bell, you get notified once I upload a new video. We are looking at kcse revision. Our topic is commercial arithmetic 2, and we are looking at taxation. So, Mr. Mbuta, a deputy inspector in a police service, and is a basic salary of Kenya shillings 47,000. So, a basic salary of Kenya shillings 47,000. Then we have house allowance of Kenya shillings 22,000. And then we have commute allowance of Kenya shillings 80,000. And finally, we have a risk allowance of Kenya shillings 9,000. So we have a risk allowance of Kenya shillings 9,000. He has a life insurance policy for which he pays 6,000 per month. Of this 6,000 per month, he is being given a relief of 15,000, 15%. So it means that we are supposed to calculate a relief of 15% from the 6,000. Apart from the insurance relief, he had a personal relief of 1,162. So we have the two reliefs here. We have a personal relief of 1,162, and then we have a life insurance relief of 15% of 6,000. So during that year, we have a monthly income in Kenya shillings, and the tax is given in terms of percentage. So we have rate in percentage in each shillings. So we have 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%, and then we have 30%. So because the rate is given in terms of percentage, we can convert 10% of 100, and that one gives us 0.1. Then we have 15% of 100, that is equivalent to 0.15%. And then we have 20 of 100 equivalent to 0.2%, 25 of 100 equivalent to 0.25%, and then finally we have 30% of 100, which is equivalent to 0.3%. So using the table, our table here, we can have 0 to 10,064, the rate is 10%, as you can see on the screen. So using the table above, determine Mr. Mbuta's monthly taxable income. Mr. Mbuta's monthly taxable income, the taxable income is calculated by having the basic salary plus all the taxable allowances minus the exemptions if the exemption exists. But in the case of Mr. Mbuta, there is no any exemption. There is no any money being given, deducted, but which is exempted from taxation. And therefore, the basic salary of Mr. Mbuta remains as, the taxable income remains as the basic salary plus the taxable allowances. So we have a taxable allowance of a house allowance of 22,000. We have a commute allowance of 8,000. We have a risk allowance of 9,000. And then we have a basic salary of 47,000. So the taxable income is equivalent to the basic salary plus the taxable allowances. And if you add on that one, 47,000 plus 22,000 plus 80,000 plus 9,000, that one will give a total of taxable income Mr. Mbuta as 86,000. This 86,000 now, when you look in our table here, the value is above 38,892. And any value which is above that one, the rate is just 30%. So in that case now, we are going to take the 86,000, our value here, that is the taxable income of Mr. Mbuta. You subtract the 38,892 because that value is above, and that one now will give us 4,710. So to calculate the net tax paid by Mr. Mbuta, in the first case 0 to 10,064, you have a difference of 10,164 times a rate of 10%. 10% is the same as 0.1, and that one will give us a value equivalent to 1,016 and 40 cents. So next we have a difference that is 19,740. You subtract 10,164. That one will give us a difference of 9,576 times the rate of 15% of 100, and that one will be equivalent to 1,436 and 40 cents. And then we have 29,316. Now you subtract 19,740. The difference remains as 9,576. The rate here is 20%. 20 of 100 is the same as 0.2, and that one gives us 1,915 and 20 cents. Then we have 38,892 minus 29,000 minus 29,316. That one also gives a difference of 9,576 times the rate, which is 25%. That rate of 25% is equivalent to 2,394. And because our value, that is 86,000, is above the value given here on the table, any value which is above the rate is 30%. And the difference between 86,000 and 38,000 is just 4,710. So that one gives us a tax of 14,132 and 40 cents. So if you find the total of this one here, that is this one plus this one plus that plus that plus this one, you will get a total of 20,894 and 40 cents. So, but this, in this case here now, this is not how we are supposed to calculate the net tax. So our net tax in that case now, net tax is equals to P. It is the total relief. It is the total relief, the total tax. We have this one as the total tax minus the relief. And in this case, we have two reliefs here. One, we have insurance relief. The insurance relief is equivalent to, it is 15,000, 15% of 6,000. 15% of 6,000, that one will be equivalent to 900. So we have a personal relief. So to get now the total reliefs equivalent to P, we have 900, then plus the personal relief of 1,162, and that one will give us 2,000. We have 2,062. Now to get the net tax is the total tax. So our net tax now will be equivalent to P. Our net tax will be equivalent to P. The total tax of 20,894 and 40 cents minus the total reliefs. The total reliefs here it is 20,062, and therefore our net tax is equivalent to the Kenya shillings 18,832 and 40 cents. So this is the net tax paid by Mr. Mbuta. Next we have Mr. Mbuta also had the following deduction. And remember, this tax is our major deduction. This is our main deduction. So this is our major deductions. Apart from paying a tax of 18,832 and 40 cents to the government, there is also others. Others are what? We have a circle loan of Kenya shillings 1,000. We have WCPS 2% of the basic salary. So if we have 2% of the basic salary, our basic salary is just 47,000. This one is equivalent to the 940. Then we have the NHF of Kenya shillings 15,000, 1,500 per month. We are supposed now to calculate this net monthly salary. So we need to get the total deductions. Our total deduction is equivalent to total deductions. This one here is our major deduction, so we have as 18,832 plus we have a circle of 1,000. Then we have the we have WCPS 2% of that one. That one is equivalent to, we have that one as 900 and 940. And then we have, there is where he's paying, he has a life insurance policy of where he's paying 6,000 per month. So we have 36,000. So plus the 6,000 here. This 6,000, it is a life insurance policy of this one, but he has been given a life insurance relief of 15%, but it's part of the deduction. So if you add all these deductions here, if you add, there is another one here of NHF, so plus NHF of 15,000, 1,500, and that one now gives us, that one will be equivalent, the total deduction of Kenya shillings 28,000, total Kenya shillings 28,000, 700, 272, 272 and 40 cents. So to get the net salary, it is the taxable income minus the total deduction. So you take 86,000 minus the total deduction of 28,272 and 40 cents. So you get the net tax of Mr. Buddha as 57,000. So this one is equivalent to the 57,727 and 60 cents. This is Mr. Buddha's net monthly salary. Net monthly salary is calculated by the taxable income minus the total deduction. And remember, in this case, the tax is our method deduction. So Mr. Buddha got an annual increment. He got an annual increment of 20% in his basic salary. Determine the percentage increase in the net tax paid. In this case here now, you need to have the new basic salary. So we have a new basic salary. That is, the salary has been increased by 20%. So you will have this is 120% all over 100 times now. The basic salary was being increased. That one, the basic salary was 47,000. So if it was increased by 20%, that one will be equivalent to the 56,400. So we have that one as 56,400. So if we have our new basic salary has been increased in this one, there is also an increase in the income tax. So in the increase in the income tax, so we have new taxable income now. The taxable income is equivalent to the basic salary plus all the taxable allowances. Now that we have our basic salary to the new one, which has 56,400 plus house allowance of plus house allowance of 22,000 Then we have the commute allowance of 80,000 plus 80,000 here plus the risk allowance of 9,000. So plus the risk allowance of 9,000. That one now will give us a new taxable income of Mr. Buddha, which is equivalent to P 95,400 Kenya shillings. So we have this 95,400 Kenya shillings. So this is the new taxable income. And if you compare now this value here, the original value was 86,000. Therefore, after the increase of 20%, the new taxable income is 95,400. Now you take this 94,000 in our table here, which is instead of having the 86,000 here now, we have a new value here, which is 95,400. So you take 95,400, you subtract 38,892, and that one will give us. So if you take this one here, you can subtract this one 38,892. This one will give a value which is equivalent to 56,000. So we have this is 5,000. Then we have 508. This 5,000 the 56,580. This value now, it is taxed at the rate of 30%. So at 30% of 100, we have 0.3. So we multiply this one by 0.3, and this one now we get the value here, which is equivalent to the 16,000. Then we have 952. Now, what will you do with that 952? Now we should have now our new net tax. Our new net tax, you take 10, 16, and 40 cents plus 1,436 and 40 cents plus 1,915 and 20 cents plus, instead of now having this one here, a value plus now the 2,394. This value of 1,000 here, where we have the 4,710, this is where we have taxed our value of the 56,508. So if we tax at that point now, this value will change to be from 14,000 to 16,952. So instead of having this one here, we replace and we add this as 16,000, then we have 952. And if you add all those values there, you will get a new value of 23,000. That one will give us a new value. That is, now we have new tax. We have now new total tax. We have new total tax of Kenya shillings, in this case here, of Kenya shillings of 23,000. So this is now of 23,000. Then we have 714. Now, how do you get now the gross tax or the net tax? Net tax, from our calculation here, our net tax is equal to the total tax minus relief. So we have new net tax, so you get new net tax, which is equivalent to the total relief of the total tax of 23,714 minus the reliefs. And our reliefs, we have two reliefs, the personal relief and the life insurance relief, giving a total of 2,062. 2,062. If you do that kind of subtraction now, they will give us a new tax of 21,000. So we have 21,000. Then we have 652 and 40 cents. So we have that one like that. Now in this case, we have to get the change in net tax. Change in net tax, we have the first tax as the first net tax as 18. We have the old tax as 18,832 and 40 cents. Our new tax now here is 21,652 and 40 cents. So we have change in tax. So we take new tax minus the old, which is 21,652 and 40 cents minus now the old. The old is 18,832 and in this case 40 cents. So in that case now we can get that value as 2820. So we have this value as 2820. Now we need the percentage increase. The percentage increase in net tax. So we have the percentage increase in net tax. It is the tax change, which is 2820. We divide by the old. The old was 18,832, 10 times 100%, and that one will give us a percentage increase of 14%. So we have this as 14%, 9.97%. So this is the percentage increase in the net tax. When the annual increment is 20%, there is an increase in the net tax of equivalent to 14.97%. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, watch and share.